Hey y'all, it's ShaRon here, and welcome to In the Wilds. Leah is back co-hosting with me, and today we have a fun episode because we get to talk about freshmen and your first year of what you can expect here at Augusta University. So, Leah, how would you rate your first year here at Augusta University?
My first year here at Augusta University was pretty good, actually. I've heard some stories. Fortunately, mine is a good one. I got pretty involved. I had a pretty good time academically and socially. I think the transition for me personally was pretty smooth. I think because of all the opportunities here at AU and the support systems that are here for students. I think all that greatly helps. I couldn't have done it without the students, my own peers, as well as faculty and staff that are here for you. But I had a great time. I got involved. I stayed on top of my work, at least tried to for the most part of it. But I would rate it a solid 8. I'd say 8.
Okay. Mm-hmm. For me, I want to say mine was probably very different from what you described. So I was, at the time, first gen college student. And I was so nervous about everything. And and one of the things that made me the most scared was just having someone tell me like I didn't really belong on campus because just coming from a much smaller city, smaller town, country town where literally the same people that I went to preschool with, I graduated high school with. And so college was definitely a big culture shock. So that fear in the back of my head of someone telling me like, oh, you should just go back home. Like, you don't belong here. That just kind of really made me want to just only focus on just at my first semester, at least, going to class and going back to my room. But then the end of my first semester, I didn't have as much fun as I guess could have had. So I was like, okay, second semester, I got, academics under my belt. So let me try to, venture out a little bit. And that's when I want to say my college experience really changed for the better. And I really became activated. And I really wanted to just, at that point, be all that I could be on campus. And so I would rate mine first semester just because of I didn't care to get involved or do anything special. My first semester was probably like a 5.
Just like nothing really too exciting.
Yeah, nothing too exciting. But then once I really started getting involved, I really want, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an alum, but I want to say my second semester was like a 10. Like day and night change of just being able to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone, and that kind of trended throughout the rest of my time.
Yeah, because not everyone is gonna have the super smooth transition that I fortunately had. Like there's gonna be rough and bumps all the time. Like it's gonna be a process. But I'm very glad that 5 ended up doubling to 10.
Yeah. And also, now that I think about it, my cohort was the first year of the consolidation. So the university was going through a lot of changes at the time. And just even thinking about like the different campuses that we have here in Augusta, like there was like the great divide of, Somerville is just undergrads doing their own thing, and then the health sciences were just more so the graduate students doing their own thing. And looking, I guess now over 10 years later, see it like really feel like just one big thing.
Yeah.
Like I even remember like the shuttles where they started introducing the shuttles to go downtown. And it was like a whole thing. And I'm so like, I don't want to say jealous, but like, I guess I'm getting old now where I'm like, y'all don't know how hard we had it at the beginning of how everything was just falling into place when we got here. So
yeah, things are always changing. Things are always growing, always improving. So
yeah, it was definitely an interesting time. But for all of y'all that are watching, we're going to continue this conversation with some special folks. First up, we have Dr. ShaRon Dukes, who is the Director for Student Life. She oversees the amazing Student Life and Engagement team, and they help plan some of the biggest key events that you'll probably be able to engage with your first year on campus. And then next up, we'll have Dr. Elizabeth Huggins and Angelica Hill from the Office of First and Second Year Experiences. And they have a very special, unique office, I would say, because they get to work with students from the beginning point of their time because they're first year, but also in their own way get to see them through graduation and provide really special services that excited to talk to them about. And for those that have been a long fan of the show, Dr. Huggins is amazing. So glad to have her back and to chat with them. So here we go.
Yep.
Welcome back to the show, Dr. Dukes.
Yay!
Yes, super excited to have you here. It's been another busy semester at AU. Can you give us some of your, I guess, personal highlights to start off with, just student life and engagement? That, because y'all are, I mean, some of the busiest folks on campus. So,
Like even today, getting ready for spring fling is a running back and forth between the office. But I would say this year's Welcome Back Bash was one for the books. It's one of those moments where you're excited, but as a programmer or in student life, you're going, okay, how do we top this next year? So the past Welcome Back Bash, we had about 600 students that attended, but this one this year, it was over 1,200 students.
Oh, wow.
So, doubled in numbers. Being able to have different elements added this year with the sparklers when the teams came out, adding lights in the background of the amphitheater so it kind of had that glow look to it. The teams, this was their second time doing this, so they came out energy on 10, yes. Shout out to the girls basketball team. They had whistles. They were like, the coach came out with them. So definitely all the teams did good, but they were one of the ones I remember going, okay, y'all were ready for it this year. Last year it was okay, hey, I don't know what we're doing, but it's like, oh no, I know what I'm doing this year. So that's definitely been a highlight for me.
As director, what is that like for you, seeing just the engagement from students like double for events like that?
It's kind of surreal, to be honest. It's something that you are aiming for, and hence why relationships with students and letting them know what the goal is and getting their help to get to the goal is important. But it really was a surreal moment when somebody called me on the phone. I'm inside still gathering stuff, and they're like, the line is down the side of the amphitheater. Like, what do you mean? And I go out of our doors and realize the line is from the top of the amphitheater down to student life. I'm like, where? Who? You know, you realize like, oh, they're here. Like, it's happening. Like, what we look for and dream for is happening. So it's definitely a surreal moment.
So I guess backtracking just a little bit, because this is all about, or this episode is all about students, their first year on campus. And student life and engagement plays a really big part, not only just for new students, but for your entire experience here at Augusta University. So could you share with our listeners just a little bit about the events and just traditions, because your team is really big on the rite of passage for students and kind of welcomes them with like Welcome Back Bash. So can you give us a little bit of that?
Yeah, so rite of passage is a huge thing for us. We like to not only make sure the staff is knowledgeable on the rite of passage elements, but our students as well, so that gives us a clue of what elements we need to work on, what do we need to push harder with. And then they can also have these kind of tools in their bag when it comes to working with their own student organizations. So there are 20 different elements in the rite of passage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a whole process.
Yes, it is a whole process. It is a science to it. It's a great tool to use, because something from this year we learned from using rite of passage, for example, is making sure our student leaders have opportunities. Opportunities was one of the elements. And so as students were thinking about it, I did learn how to do this, but I don't know if I had the opportunity to showcase this across campus. So this year's Welcome Back Bash, for example, two students hosted. Right, so that's giving them that time for their exposure, or having students do social media, or having students brush up on interview skills and different things. So as we use those elements, we're able to figure out how does programming look so that students have a clear identity of the Jaguar way. So you should not come to AU and you didn't have that first experience of, I saw the athletes, I went to the food truck, it was games, it's excitement to let you know, like, yes, this is going to be your experience for the next few years as a Jaguar, because we've implemented all of these rite of passage elements throughout the programming.
And I think when all of these events, for the most part, are student-led, it kind of encourages new students to get more involved, knowing that these are being led by students just like them.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's good for them to see. It's like a reflection. I get to see somebody, and get excited because maybe one day I can be up there.
Yeah,
and
it's inspiring. Saying I want to be a student who's hosting an event like this. So.
Yes.
Yeah, especially like, or just thinking about that journey of like, my first year on campus, I attended Welcome Back Bash, but I saw this student and I thought, oh, I want to host it one year. And, before they, leave us to go on to bigger and better things after they graduate, they, check that off their bucket list.
Yes.
So out of all the events that y'all plan, and I know this is going to be a tough question, what would you say is one of your favorites?
Oh, that's an easy one, right, Sean?
Okay.
You know what I'm going to go with? One with Homecoming. Homecoming is a whole production.
Yeah.
Trying to go from Sunday to Saturday, essentially, of events. But in particular, we had this discussion one time of what does AU offer that's different than other schools, and I do think we offer a unique homecoming experience. So it's not just, I would say, just normal tradition of, hey, homecoming, go to the events. We've gone from these themes that create these timestamps for students. So if you went to the Blue Vogue homecoming versus the Roaring Loud homecoming, and just trying to make sure that though it was the same dance, when you came in, the decor was different, the giveaway may have been different, the amount of people, because it's growing. So I think homecoming week just really sets the tone of people get excited and wondering, like, what are we going to do this year? And I'm already like, I have no idea where we're going next. But yeah, it is a lot.
So could you walk through, like, I guess from the student life perspective, what a new student's first year could look like in terms of programming, but also opportunities for them to get involved beyond just attending events?
Yes. So I think essentially if we started from where our kickoff or our orientation for students is, from our point of view, is from that welcome back bash, right? So we're getting you in, we're showing you the athletes' excitement and Jaguar pride. You get your first rally towel, you get your first shirt, those kind of things. But it leads into that very next week of where typically Club Fest is that week. So now you get to see what organizations you can join across campus. And we're really pushing you, go out there, find an organization. If you don't see an organization, you may want to create your own organization. And for I think 2 years, we've been having Club Fest on both campuses, Somerville and Health Science. So that helps where if you didn't get to come one time, you may catch another one. Some people go to both because there's different organizations will be there. And then from there, I think that's when they start forming their relationships with other students, figuring out, hey, who can I partner with in my class? Who can I get to go to different things with me? How do I form my study groups? And I think once we get students oriented that way, hey, they know how to now follow my path as a Jaguar from that point.
Yeah, that just made me think of just like weeks of welcome in general, like those first couple of weeks of the fall semester, there will be so many opportunities for folks to get involved. And I guess, Leah, as a current student, what has your experience been like for participating in weeks of welcome?
Yeah, so when I came to AU, one of my goals was just to get involved. Get involved in things I have a passion for, make new relationships, and kind of have that AU experience like no other. And so for the weeks of welcome, the one thing on my list was just go to at least one big event, see what it's like, kind of the culture here, the social life here, and what AU has to offer. So I grabbed a couple friends, like roommates, just people who I've kind of spoken to. And I was like, let's go to this event to see what it's like. You can always leave, just see what it's like. You have the opportunity, like you can take them, you can not. So if you're given the opportunity, I say definitely just take the chance. You can have a great experience. There's food there, there's people there. There's lots of new students who don't know what they're doing either. No one really knows what they're doing, especially as a new student. And so I think being a new student, we're all kind of confused. We all kind of need some guidance. So I think going to these events, like these weeks of welcome, Club Fest, learning just more and what you can do with your time here at AU, I think that's something that I did, and that's something students should really take advantage of when given that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, weeks of welcome is great for, I guess, all students, just in terms of just finding your way. Like, just seeing what's out there, because a lot of times students will, tend to just, I'm coming to college and I just want to focus on my academics first, and I just want to figure out, how I can, manage that. But then, they get so caught up in academics, they kind of forget, like, there's a whole campus out there to teach you and help you in so many other ways.
And I was that freshman. I went to school going, I'm just going to class, not doing anything else. I was heavily involved in high school and thought that was enough. I don't have to do anything else. well, orientation team, resident assistant,
Yeah.
SGA later. I'm like, thank goodness I got involved in those things. I always tell students, you don't want to go to 13th grade. You want to go to a new experience.
Yeah.
And once you get out there, it changes your whole perspective. If you just find something, find something to get involved with.
Yeah, and you need that balance with academics. Yeah, you can focus on academics, but there's going to be a time where you're going to need a little bit of a social life, a little bit, have the time for yourself to kind of see what it's like outside of that, take that break and make new connections and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because I was similar to you, like in high school, super involved, did all the things, and I came in, I was like, I don't want to do like I'm okay. Like I'll just go to class, and then my first semester, it was all right, but it wasn't as fun as it could have been because I really wasn't looking to do anything outside of class. And so my second semester, I was like, let me see, what campus is talking about, and that really just changed my perspective, and that's when I really started getting involved because you get activated at that point once you find that one event or that one group of folks that just keep going to stuff and
That's what happened to me. I wasn't super involved in high school because I did sports and stuff, and I was just kind of go to school.
Sport did you play?
Gymnastics.
Okay.
So I was like, go to school, go straight to gymnastics, repeat. I wasn't one to let's hang out with friends, let's see what's going on with the school. Yeah. But when I came here to AU, I was like, I'm retired, no longer doing gymnastics. And I said, what am I going to do with my time? And I was like, be an academic weapon, but also kind of see what college has to offer socially. And and I knew because college, there's always this thing about being burnt out and finding that balance. Like you need a good support system, and going out to these events with friends, having that time to yourself, I think really sparked more of me wanting to be more involved. And I think with time, I'm becoming more and more involved, just wanting to learn more. Because when you actually see all the opportunities that are available to you and you really enjoy them and take advantage of them, you kind of seek more of that.
Yes.
So beyond Week So Welcome, Dr. Dukes, what are some other key events that students can expect in the fall from student life and engagement?
Oh boy! Now that was a good question. That was a good question. So there are several different opportunities because in student life and engagement we have 6 different areas. So everything from voter registration drives to we collaborate with volunteer services to do a service fair, so you can find out other opportunities in the community to get involved. To the big group, the Jaguar production crew, where they're doing takeover Tuesdays, which there is in that spot, it gives you an opportunity to get a giveaway to kind of recharge for the day, but also to find out what else is going on across campus. Students want to know what else can I get involved with. So we do that once a month on Health Science and once a month on Somerville. The crew also hosts a lot of the larger events. So if you want to get dressed up, that's the Jag Gala. That's the thing. You want to have that college prom experience, but it's a lot of fun when they do those kind of events. Of course, fraternity sorority life. If you're interested in joining Greek life, you got bid day and recruitment week. Black Greek letter awards have their week, so we have the big yard show in the Maxwell Theater that has been. We don't sell tickets as in physically, but you might as well call it a sold out show because if you do not get there in time. Yeah, it's no more seats left now. So it's so much happening throughout from my office. But if you go to Jag Life and Presence, student orgs are also hosting events too. So there'll be student organizations that host their traditional and annual events, and you can go through that way to see those too.
You forgot to mention one of my favorite events.
Oh, which one? Oh, Pig Out? Yes. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. Pig Out for the last, I think, 3 years. We've done it on Health Science campus, and I think that's been really good at bringing everyone in the fold together. Because sometimes it's I'm in DCG, MCG, I can't remember, but they are running down there, being able to play the games, just taking a break for a second. Pig Out is the Student Appreciation Day, so just letting them know we are here. We support you, we see you, and we want you to have an opportunity to just spend some time with your fellow Jaguars.
I love Pig Out. When I was a student, it was mainly on Somerville.
Yes. Because it's been happening. That's a strong tradition with Pig Out. Yes.
And so, just remembering how it took up the entire center of the Somerville campus with all the activities going on and having the themes and just being able to have fun for that time in between classes. And I remember even having professors say I know Pig Out's today, so if y'all come to class late, it's okay. Or if y'all, want to leave a little bit, or I'm letting y'all go early so you can have fun at Pig Out if you didn't get a chance to go.
Yes, that's
the
what
whole,
you want.
Yeah, the whole Jag Nation kind of supports Pig Out, which is kind of fun.
I got one of the biggest, I told my staff, one of the biggest compliments we got during homecoming week was we did an event for the candidate cookout. One of the students who's in my class said, I wanted to call my friends and say, if you're in class, leave now. Come to the amphitheater. And that's what you want. You want students to be like, I'm not missing this. This is one of my favorite event. And that student was just like, I didn't even know what's happening. She was like, I don't know how I landed there, but I'm glad I did. So, yeah, that's your free advertisement. That's what it is.
How do you go about measuring the success of the events? Because obviously having a big turnout is, part of it, and it's very visible to tell that part. But I guess beyond that, how do you measure success?
Yes, so that, just like what I just said, would be one of those measurements. Like, did it make you want to tell somebody else to come? Are you telling other students, like, you missed out if you didn't come to this event? But also, in our office this year, the theme has been Once Upon a Time. And it's where your next chapter starts here. Like, you starts with this student life and engagement and really becoming that Jaguar, right? So one of the biggest ways to know the success is the stories students tell. What stories are they telling from being at the event, from being a part of organizations? Like, is this becoming that iconic experience for them, or is it just another thing of like, yeah, I mean, it was nice, yeah, food. But when they're talking about it in a way of it created a new, like, drop in their memory box, that's when we know, like, we hit the mark. So you want to hear students tell you and give you that timestamp of, I knew my first candidate cookout was that year, such and such happened. This is the person who was running, or this is the music that was playing. You want your students to have that story to tell.
And with your office, you have your team of staff members, but you also get to work with a bunch of students. So do you have any memorable moments just from your experience of working with your team and your team of students that just kind of encapsulates the Jaguar spirit, or like that environment that we're trying to show that we have?
Oh, that's a...
Like, how do you make it memorable, unique?
Yeah, because I'm sure there's plenty of stories.
I'm like, which one would be the...
Yeah.
I think for the second year in a row, seeing everyone at Jaguar Mania participate in something together. So at last year, it was we had the lights, and it was like, this side is going to go, and then this side is going to go. Yeah, we played the Rihanna song, and it was just, everybody was going crazy with the lights, right? But then the next year, having a homecoming court host, and we were like, okay, you got to teach everybody the AU Shuffle. Everybody has to do the dance. But not only were students doing it, what they didn't know is Dr. Davies already had me teach all the directors to dance.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So they were ready, like, you're doing the dance, right? Because we're ready to do the dance with the students. So having Anasia up there as homecoming queen, teaching the dance, everybody doing it all together, like, that's what you want to see. We tell students it's not as simple as you just say it and that's it. Like, we have to demonstrate it for you.
Yeah.
We have to be the role models for it. And so do our student leaders. So seeing people like Leah out there doing a dance, even if Leah was like, I don't have any charisma, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, she's like, yeah,
you can do it.
Doing something simple, everybody can join in. It's friendly. It's fun. That's what we look for.
I love that.
Yeah.
And before we let you go, we got a fun little game.
Okay. All right.
For you. It's called Fact or Cap. So
I'm already liking it.
So I have a couple of university traditions.
Okay.
That I'm going to read out, and I want you to tell us if it really happened.
Okay.
Or if it's cap.
Okay.
Testing your knowledge of traditions.
Exactly.
I'm nervous.
And just to give you a little hint, some of these may have been previous traditions.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay. As an Augusta native, too, I feel like I ought to be...
Okay, so first...
more pressure.
I mean, no pressure. So first up is the Jaguar Jaunt, which is a fun run-or-walk event organized by the university to promote fitness and wellness among students, faculty, and staff.
Jaguar Jaunt? Ooh.
Fact or cap?
Okay, so I feel like it's cap, but I feel like it's like, okay, I'm just gonna say I feel like it's cap, and then you tell me because of why I'm thinking it's cap.
It's true.
Oh, I was thinking it had a different name to it. It wasn't Jaguar Jaunt. That's what it was like.
I need to bring that back. I would 100% do that.
As a gymnast, I know you
yeah.
Did it.
So yeah, that was a real thing.
Okay.
All right. Next up, which this is more of a made-up name, so don't get too caught up on the name this time.
Okay.
We're calling it the Fountain Frolic, where students kick off their shoes and dip their toes into Blanchard Fountain for good luck so they can graduate on time.
Oh,
Fact or cap?
Only thing I know of is the penny in the fountain. I feel like if there was a lot of frolicking, we may have a new policy in the handbook.
The dogs in the water.
I'm gonna go with cap. I don't. Yeah.
You don't want to put your dogs in the water for good luck?
Listen, I can see Dr. Wallace now being like, "Wait a minute, what's happening?
Kicking your little feet in the fountain.
Why are people in the fountain?" I have no. No. It could have happened like years and years ago before. Okay, I'm going with cap because my policy mind is like, no, that can't be a thing.
No, we can't let that happen. Those dogs.
You're right. Right. For legal reasons, I can't confirm or deny if my feet have ever been in the Blanchard Fountain.
I have one more.
Next up is called Goose Chase. During homecoming week, students participating in Pass the Paw would run around the city to find Augusta landmarks and complete different challenges.
Yeah, I think that's facts. I think that's a fact. Oh God, the way y'all look at it, I'm like, is it? Well,
Poker face.
Is this another one? Do I have to be hung up on the name?
Don't get hung up on the name.
Yeah, fact. Oh, sorry,
Right.
Mike.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
At the time, I believe there was like a Goose Chase app or something like that. Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
But
okay.
I remember it was real. It was real.
Yes, that's a fact. Because I even remember like coming out of COVID year, we tried to like do it again because you couldn't have a whole bunch of people in one area.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was like, well, that's a good thing to do. Everybody spread across the city. So yeah.
And last one is called Augusta After Dark. Once a semester, Jaguars embark on the ultimate overnight adventure by participating in Jaguar Midnight Madness and sleeping overnight in the JSAC.
Now, though I think that would be fun, I feel like that's cap. I don't know where you're gonna sleep. Also,
Get on that floor.
Our ghost stories made me feel like I don't know if anybody would stay. I don't know if students would have voluntarily stayed there. See, I'm going cap.
You're right.
Oh.
But what's not cap is the ghost in the JSAC.
Yeah.
I have my own stories with that one.
Ghost stories, and that is a thing. They're around here.
Which is funny because to me, I don't even think the JSAC should be haunted. This is like relatively newer, but there's
Students have come up with like theories and stories that, which is one of the elements of rite of passage that we pass down these little stories. So sometimes they say the ghost will haunt you if you don't go to so many events on campus.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as like a new student, with some of the traditions that we spoke of and others that you know, what would be one of your first ones you think students should definitely do? They do the convocation with the penny and the fountain for good luck. But once they're on campus and classes have started, what's something you highly recommend they do like on a bucket list that they check off as soon as they can?
Though I think the various events that happen across campus from different departments are essential, I really think attending Club Fest is one of those, you gotta do it. It's just, some students have fears of, I may be awkward, I don't know. And I've told them so many times, the people behind the tables are equally scared.
Yeah.
They're like, what if somebody comes to my table and nobody wants to join my club? So you don't, get past that. But I've every year I have my students to attend that are in my class. And
because you teach as well.
Yes, I teach a class in the education department, and every year they write a essay about that experience, and eyes are open. It's like a whole new world to them of, I didn't even know we had, these organizations. Now I'm kind of interested. People were friendly. It wasn't as bad as I thought, those kind of things. They even give us suggestions on ways to improve the Club Fest. But I think if they could go to those, it would at least give you a peek into what my engagement or involvement life would be like.
Yeah. Give them that like nice little push to see what they saw was interesting, something that they could possibly join, and go from then like what they decide they want to do.
Yes, because you can always go to an event and be like, oh, that was a great concert, or that was a great movie night or whatever. But to be able to say that I'm going to connect when I do this, and it's going to be meetings I go to and more people I meet, and that's how we can develop you as a Jaguar. That's why that's so important.
And there's always food too and swag, and you always meet people and have fun. So that's always there too.
All the T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It's like Pokemon. You got to collect them.
Collect them all, and some people make those quilts,
Yes. It's really iconic. It is really, when you see students, I love to see students wearing a shirt across campus, like, you're actually wearing it. That means you like it. Like, and that's an advertisement, too. Like, where'd you get that shirt? Oh, well, you should have came to the event. Like, they had these, free swag, but it's also was where students really like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get hunted down for a shirt before the event even starts. Like, can you just hold, like, we're coming? Nah.
That's all I wear is AU. I have this. I have another AU shirt under
That should
this.
be a tagline.
I
That's all I
sleep
wear
in
is
AU.
All I wear is AU.
My blood runs blue.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dukes, for being here and talking to us. I'm super excited for everything that's going to happen this fall. Now that I'm done with grad school, hopefully I can be at some of the events as well too. I can be on Somerville a little bit more. But thanks for being here.
Hey, thank y'all.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff that new students can look forward to joining and learning more about, for sure.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name's Grant Worf and I am a financial aid counselor here with Augusta University. We are devoted to providing students with the necessary financial assistance to make their college experience both affordable and achievable. We also promote financial literacy and offer a variety of resources to help students better understand their finances. Once a student submits their FAFSA, we are then sent that information and we review it to determine their eligibility for Title IV funding. Our main office is located in Fanning Hall on the Somerville campus, and we also have an office located on the second floor of the Wellness Center on the Health Sciences campus for all of our graduate and professional health sciences students. We can be reached at 706-737-1524 or by emailing osfa@augusta.edu.
Well, welcome back, Dr. Huggins, and welcome to the show, Angelica.
Thank you.
To In the Wild. Super excited to have you both. For those who are unfamiliar, can you get us started with just providing an overview of your office and its purpose?
Sure. We're the first and second year experiences, and our office is called the Treehouse. It's easier to remember than first and second year experiences. And we literally are located up on the third floor of University Hall with a bank of windows that overlooks these oak trees. And our office was called the Treehouse by students, and so we thought we would just kind of capture that moment of that sense of belonging that they felt, and safety and security in a treehouse, and that's kind of where we went with that. We have a fairly open-aired office.
Yes.
But we have some things in our office that we have named.
Yes.
We have Bluey.
Bluey, our water fountain.
Our water fountain.
Yes.
Okay.
We have Matilda, our green plant. We have,
Clarabelle.
Clarabelle.
And Baby Belle, which
Baby
are
Belle.
carts that we use when we
The
have
different
events.
carts.
Yes.
And recently we have our newest addition to our family is Gerald.
Gerald.
Yes.
Gerald is the giraffe that owns the pop-up shop in the bottom floor of University Hall.
Okay.
In the lobby, right where students.
That's
can
his
wait.
name.
Yes,
Gerald
his name
the
is
giraffe.
Okay.
So
Yes.
students named Gerald. A few years back, we asked them what we should call this giraffe. I was thinking Gertie, but they went with Gerald, and so Gerald is sharing out academic engagement opportunities around campus. And so we've asked all of the colleges and departments to put things down on the table that other students might feel interested in joining. And it's right there, centrally located next to the bus stop. So it's very easy to pick up something and go, in terms of ways to get involved. But we love Gerald.
So for this episode, we're talking about new students in their first year at Augusta University. And one of the first things that I thought about that comes out of your office is Jaguar Jumpstart.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it probably for some students is their first experience beyond orientation. So do you mind giving an overview of what the Jaguar Jumpstart program is and how it serves students?
Well, Angelica is the
Yes.
coordinator.
Yes.
And so I'm going to let her
I
talk
would love
about
to
that.
talk about Jaguar Jumpstart. I love this summer program. So Jaguar Jumpstart started back in 2016. It's a living learning community for students. So admissions have found students that have applied to AU, but they feel like they need for the students to kind of come in the summer and get like a jump start to college with some support. So it's a unique enrollment pathway for students that want to come to AU. So they come in the summer, they take 6 credit hours of college coursework, and they also have workshops that we provide for them through our campus resources that they have throughout the week. And then on Fridays, they have like Fun Fridays where we allow them to go out into the community, maybe it's some community service experience and just volunteer experience to put on their resume. So it's just a unique enrollment pathway for students to come in the summer, and we just provide them with all the supports that they need. So they're getting that jump start to college. So they pretty much know everything before all the other freshmen come into the fall. And
They feel very prepared.
yes, feel very prepared because we give them all the supports that they need through campus resources, and then they get to take the 6 credit hours, which is great.
Show them your T-shirt. Lamar.
Absolutely. So this is our T-shirt from the Jaguar Jumpstart program from last year.
No, are
And
we
we like
there
to
yet?
say,
Are we there yet?
yes, different pillars that the students get to experience while they're in the Jaguar Jumpstart program. So professional development, which we have with career services. They come in and talk about their resume and help them build a resume. Wellness, our GA last year, he was able to do Mindful Wednesdays with students where they were able to just take some time to think about their mental health. We did like a painting day and also a planting potted plants. Just a time to relax. Also community engagement, so that's going out and volunteering in the community. We love to volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club.
the Boys and Girls
They
Club.
love AU students there. Digital literacy, they have that where we do a workshop with them to teach them about D2L because students, they don't know coming into college about D2L, how to use Box. And then also academic success, of course, taking their 6 credit hours, and then also when they get done at the end of the day, going down to the Academic Success Center, maybe getting tutoring, maybe going down there and studying. So it's just a unique program. I love it. I love it. Those students, they just touch my heart.
Oh,
And we keep up
Yes,
with them
all
all
4
4
years.
years. And so what happens is we, at the end of 4 years, we celebrate them with graduation cords.
Yes. Our seniors that are graduating.
And they do a lot of mentoring of each other too. Informally, but also formally, we hire peer mentors who have been through the program, and that can then help students in their first year kind of navigate those processes.
that's awesome. And I guess just personally for both of you, what is that experience like for y'all seeing students who come into Jaguar Jumpstart and then become peer mentors and are graduating and they're getting probably not just that cord, but probably other cords and other things because
Right.
you've set them up for success over the summer.
Well, one of our most successful experiences has been Justin Goddard. He
Yes.
was our JJSP 2019 student, and he ended up being, the
Graduation
commencement
speaker.
Yeah.
and just filled with cords, and just such a good campus leader. We were so proud of him and so many others too that have just done an amazing job. Lauren Green.
Yes.
We oftentimes hire like Aaron Schmidt and Lauren Green and others who have worked in our office afterwards, and just they're able to be authentic in their advice to other students.
And I just love seeing them succeed because my background is teaching. Like I came from the teaching environment. So just seeing these students succeed and then come back to our office 4 years later asking for a reference from Dr. Huggins saying, hey, I'm going to OT school or I'm going to nursing school. Can you write me a reference? Like we're a part of that process for them succeeding. So I just love that. They keep up with us. They come and tell us about their academics, their personal life. So I just love that we were able to make, yes, they do.
I like the personal life.
Yes. Just having that connection with them and keeping that connection is, I think, is very important. Very important for
Absolutely.
students. Yeah.
So what are other ways that new students can get involved with the Treehouse other than JJSP? Like what other programs do you have to get them involved with you guys so that you can get connected with them and see their growth in their journey here at AU?
I think the first thing that we do with them is the book clubs. We've been told by students that, especially during that whole pandemic era, people had lost the art of conversation. And so that gives them a chance to have small group settings where they talk about their purpose, their pathways in college and beyond in a small group book club. And so we'll be offering about 3 books this fall.
3 or 4 book clubs this fall.
Ways that maybe 8 or 10 of them can get together and in the Treehouse and talk to us. Usually around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, and just talk about the book, but then talk to each other about purposeful things. They oftentimes say that this is the first time they've had a chance to talk to other students because so many of their core classes have to be lecture-based, and there's just very little time for them to actually chat with each other about more meaningful academic contact.
And they do get a free book and free snacks if they join. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good. They don't have to pay for the book. They get snacks, just purposeful conversations.
Beyond that, we do, in the month of October, we do Grit Month, which is a chance for them to celebrate grit and resiliency, and we do all kinds of workshops and events with them in that month as well.
And we added in gratitude this year,
And we
too.
added the
Being
gratitude.
thankful. Yes.
We have found that, grateful people also have more resiliency in terms of being able to get through some really tough barriers. And that first year is so tough. That first semester is so tough.
Definitely eye-opening and in a lot of ways transformative from high school to college student.
Absolutely. Check out our grit wall every fall down at University Hall.
Yes, we
the
do
grit bricks.
Grit bricks, where everybody puts down what they've been overcoming and how proud they are of themselves. And it's just amazing some of the things that people have had
And it's
to
completely
overcome.
anonymous, so they can write anything personal they want.
True.
What are some of the things that they share that have helped them stay resilient?
Well, in terms of the bricks that we saw, what I've seen before is that somebody will maybe put down that I'm working 2 jobs and I'm academic and I'm taking care of my siblings, you know, full load academically and all of that. And I've heard other students walk by and look at the bricks and read the bricks and just go, wow, yeah, that sort of puts in perspective what I'm going through right now.
Yes.
I think that's kind of neat when that happens.
Yes.
The students can relate to each other, resonate, and see that
Absolutely.
like they're not alone. Especially
Yes,
as new students, like
absolutely.
when they don't know what they're doing and there's a big change, a big transition in life, like being able to understand how other students like they can connect with you and they understand what you're going
Do you
through.
remember your first semester in college?
Yes.
What was your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge for me was probably one being in Augusta because I'm not from Augusta. So just kind of being, I wouldn't say homesickness, but just knowing that this new era, I guess, of independence, knowing that I'm not necessarily on my own because I've kind of stepped into a new system of support with AU here, but kind of knowing that I am on my own, like with parents and stuff, like I'm not there anymore. So kind of taking that leap of independency, doing things that I want to do and have the opportunity to do here in this new city with these new people.
You were adulting hard.
Yes.
Yeah, so kind of going like, oh, mom, help me, to kind of like, I can do things on my own. Like I can go through hard things myself. Like I can learn
And did that
with
switch work
others.
for you your first semester, or did it wait a little bit?
Even now, sometimes I'm like, I'm adulting. Like I'm
Yes,
doing
you are.
things. Yeah, it's like finishing up my second year. It's like I still feel like I'm always still growing, still transitioning to higher things, kind of here in Augusta. So that's something that's just not going to ever stop. So I think that jump was
So you're finishing up your second year.
yes.
So we have something for you.
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to introduce for
halfway
me?
there.
There
Okay.
celebration, which encourages students to reflect a little bit about the first 2 years, what you've done really, really well, and then the fact that you've only got 2 more years
more years,
left.
what
would you like to put in
What are
your
some goals
in your
you have?
toolbox before you leave?
That's true.
But at this halfway there celebration, and you can see that starts with convocation and ends with graduation, and you are here.
Yes.
But we serve half cookies, half lemonade, half tea.
Oh, wow.
We have a whole T-shirt for
Yes.
you.
Okay. Halfway there T-shirt.
But
You can crop top it.
yeah, we have.
If you want to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half shirt. Yeah, that's awesome. We could do that. We should. We should. Good idea. But anyway, that's coming up at the end of April.
Yeah, so you're not here just for new students and not only for first and second. That might be your guys' name, but you are there for all students,
students.
who
Our first years
are there
come
for.
back.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
And they come into the treehouse with questions. We don't turn anybody away.
Yeah, so
true.
about your office, can you tell us about how you're open if anyone has questions or needs help, whether they be a first student or graduating soon, how you guys are there for them, what you have for them, and
Are you
know
talking
how.
specifically about our Southern City Swing Tour?
Yeah, that too. Kind of your
I was going to
office
ask about
in
that.
general.
So, yeah. Tell us more about it, because it's still relatively new.
So we did have some students coming in saying, "Oh my gosh, we're graduating and we don't know what we're doing."
Yes.
And I said, "Well, have you traveled around and looked at other cities?" And they're like, "No, I've never left the Augusta area." And a lot of them were first gen, and I just was like, "Okay, we have got to build their cultural capital. So how can we do this?" And then at the time, I was teaching a leadership class, and so I brought the problem to the leaders. And I said, can we construct something that might be helpful for students not transitioning into college, but transitioning out of college?
Oh, yeah.
And they created this thing, Southern City Swing Tour, where you leave at 7 in the morning, which I thought was a little early,
Yes.
but they insisted because we travel like 2.5 hours away to another city. And then we meet with either the Chamber of Commerce or the Business Alliance, and they get a panel discussion about what that city entails, the demographics, the cost of living, all of that. And then they meet kind of one-on-one or small groups with the young professionals that live in that city that have just transitioned from college to the workforce. And they have these intentional conversations with what was it like for them. And they do this over the networking lunch. We also invite our AU alumni who live in those cities to come to lunch with us and then to share out their stories because they know what AU is all about. And they're like, oh yeah, I had that professor, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, we let them go. And we hope they come back. Yes. And they go explore the vibe of the city, and we just kind of get the feeling. But what did you like about the Southern City Swing Tour? Or what did you hear students say?
I like that they were able to just meet with young professionals that they can relate to. And these young professionals say, hey, I was a small town girl or a small town guy, and I was able to move to a big city. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's all about connections. And I love we give them a set of personalized business cards that they can exchange, which we found out this year about the new digital business cards.
Yes. So while we do give them business cards, I mean, they practice the art of being able to give those and then to take contacts. Digital business cards are
that's
now.
new. Never heard of that.
That you have these on your phone. And you can just send it from phone to phone. So we might try that next year.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
But I think
just keeping the connections.
they are required. Okay, the trip is free. They have to put down a $50 deposit, but they get that right back as soon as they go. That sort of encourages the commitment level.
Yeah.
But they have to do the pre and post evaluation, and then they also do a thank you email to somebody that they've met, which usually kind of blows people away. They're excited by that.
Okay.
Yeah, when I heard about these tours going on, at first I got really like secondhand jealousy because I knew that it wasn't a thing.
Me too.
When I was a student here. So I think it was a great idea to get them out of Augusta for a little bit, connecting them with alums from different cities, and just being able to, like you said, kind of encourage that cultural capital, so to speak.
And we hear that in the cities that we go to. A lot of people say, I wish they had this program when I was in college. Yeah, this is like very beneficial for students.
Cutting edge. We went to a couple of conferences, Students in Transition and the First Year Experience Conference, and nobody else was doing this.
Oh, wow.
Nobody else was helping transition students out of college and into the workforce intentionally like this.
Yeah, for me being first year in college graduate, I'm about to say student again, but I graduated. That is something that's not often talked about because, you know, you get here and you're encouraged to be all you can be while you're here, but then you don't have those transition programs to say, okay, you've done great while you're here, let's help you be prepared for what's to come next, because you may have all of the, you know, academic foundation of everything, but being able to network and make connections and just experience different cities, because a lot of people may not have the, you know, opportunity to leave campus as often as they would like. So I think that's great.
My own daughter, on her first day of her real big girl job, called me like, Mom. I'm like, hello, aren't you supposed to be working? Yes. And she's like, I have to email my boss. I'm like, okay. And she goes, I've never emailed a boss. How do you email a boss? And I was like, oh, how do you email your boss? It's not the same as emailing your professor. Not really. So, but I think what you just said, something that kind of resonated with me. We were thinking about the idea of changing up some of the cities. We've been going to Charlotte and Greenville for a couple of years.
Yes.
What were some
maybe
of the ones?
Atlanta and Columbia, South Carolina, maybe for next year.
Oh, nice.
And speaking on the networking, we do want to do a special shout out to Career Services for providing the networking and nachos for our students this year to help them with their networking skills and how to talk to people, how to shake hands and where to stand. And
they brought in a speaker.
they brought in a professional.
Oh, nice.
Who talked about how you stand open like this to allow people to come into your conversation. You don't close off. It was just really good. Very practical advice.
I love career services.
Yes.
Me too.
They do a lot.
They do a lot.
So I'm seeing a trend, a big thing about networking, making connections. Do you have other advice for new students of like maybe just how to transition here to AU, how to have a great time here? Like what else can they do to really get involved, especially with your office?
You might have some thoughts.
I do.
We have noticed that they don't ask. Like they just struggle alone. For a while they've been doing this and they don't have the I don't know, the comfortableness to ask for help or ask for how to get involved or to push themselves forward that way.
To speak up and kind of see what's there for them.
And that it's okay to ask, because I think a lot of times in high school they might have a teacher that doesn't allow you to speak up. So, just sharing, you can speak up.
Yes.
And you don't have to stay in a major that you picked when you came to AU. If you
No,
find
yeah.
another
That's right.
pathway, go speak with your academic
life.
advisor, career services to help you find the right path that's right for you. Because we see that a lot in inquiry.
Yes,
Students are like, wow, I can change my major. Yes.
Yeah.
So can we share out inquiry real
Yes.
quick?
Yes.
I know you've got questions. But we do coordinate 50 sections or more, 60
Yes.
sections this year of Inquiry 1000.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
well,
and this is a course designed for first and second year students. Some of the courses are topic based, and some of them are design your life. The topic based really kind of dives deep into the research that the professor is teaching, that teaches the inquiry course, kind of wants you to do some project based learning in that area, which is super cool. If like you really love nursing, you're taking inquiry from a nursing professor, you get to know them more personally. The other is Design Your Life, where you get a chance to really think about your next steps and
Purpose,
broadening your
pathway.
purpose and pathways a little bit, not just being so micro-focused on the one pathway. Because sometimes you do take a course and you're like, oh,
Yes.
maybe I should have done it different. So you love inquiry.
I do. I really do love inquiry because, you meet these students, and like I said, they're like, wow, I can change my major. Like, yes, you can. Let's think about it. And then you just provide them with different resources on campus that help them with their pathway.
But they still do project-based
And they
learning,
project-based
teamwork
learning.
skills,
Yes.
collaboration, communication. These are some of the learning outcomes of inquiry. What's disheartening to us is as students, they just sign up for an inquiry and they don't realize that there's so many topics and things available.
Yeah.
So we do have these cards with a QR code that goes to our website, has the list of all the different classes and topics that are offered, and it's a menu that they can choose from. That's what we want to share out.
No, I love that because inquiry, I thought, is just super cool. Like you said, they have so many options to choose from, and they get to, like you said, meet professors, meet even, I guess, adjunct
Yes.
folks and folks on campus that you may not get to
You
interact
could
with.
teach an inquiry.
Yes.
Oh, we'll talk.
Yes.
We'll talk.
Fun class.
I love podcasting, so I
Yes.
You
mean,
could do a whole class on
A whole
podcasting.
class on that.
Seriously.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we could definitely talk more about that after.
Communication majors.
Another thing that you guys are heavily involved with is freshman convocation.
Yes.
So for all of our first-time new students or first-time college students, could you talk a little bit about how Augusta University does it and how this is such a special event?
Yeah, we've been doing convocation since 2013.
Wow.
And it's just gotten bigger and better every year.
2013 was my freshman year.
Oh, you were the first
Did you
one.
go to convocation?
I did. And I still have my pen that I got.
So,
Nice.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
I'm
That
impressed.
is amazing.
I kept it.
For safekeeping, I put it on my cap and gown so it doesn't go
yes.
anywhere.
Well,
But
that's
yeah.
what ideally we would like is when you get your pen your freshman year, you wear it on your cap and gown your senior year, and if you haven't lost it or whatever. We also have a couple of traditions. Included in the convocation is the opportunity to get in the class picture
Yeah.
and stand in the field and have the picture, the drone come over and take the picture of your, and then you can years from now look back and say, this is where I was
Yes.
on the field, and it was kind of cool. We do, now that we're on the Somerville campus, we do the tossing of the penny into the fountain.
Investing
which
in
is
your future.
Investing in your
Yes.
future, haha, investing in your future. We do the after the actual ceremony itself is rather short because it's outside in the heat in August. So it's morning, but we get done around 10:30, and then they go and have brunch with their professors in the grove.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And the professors usually bring out all these experiments and really cool things on their tables
Lot
that
of
they can kind of
swag.
engage with, and have these great conversations before classes begin. And then finally, we are very grateful to our 1828 ambassadors because they will do tours for students to figure out where their classrooms are before the next day.
Oh, that's
Yes.
helpful.
Very helpful to know so you won't feel so lost. So convocation's always
I-
a great kickstart.
Yeah, looks like a big festival.
It is a big festival.
You have a
It's
DJ,
welcome.
tents are up,
Yeah.
everybody's engaging. Love that.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend, like, for all of the new students, like, convocation is, I think you said it before, like, the bookend.
It is.
Like, It's
The
that
bookend to
it's that start.
graduation.
Before you start classes, you get to, and that will probably be one of the only times where you get to really be with like your entire freshman class.
Yes.
That's right. That's
So
right.
it's a really
Yeah,
special
students
event.
have said they've met their lifelong friends at convocation that
Yes.
one day.
Yeah, that's where I've met
Friends.
some of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember mine. I remember eating lunch with them outside. We were like all huddled in a circle and hanging out.
I'll
I-
look back to the
I love
pictures.
that.
I bet I have a picture of you.
I remember where I sat and everything. Yeah, and the shirts and
Yeah,
the
the
iconic alma mater being sung to us.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to learn their alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of tradition involved in that one event.
And it's all hands on deck, so we thank all of our
Yeah.
campus
Oh,
partners
my
for coming
goodness.
out and helping.
So many campus partners.
Yes, and even Augustus comes out, takes pictures.
Yes, and it really makes things feel real.
Yes.
I think students when they move in, they're like, "Oh, I'm in college," but when they go to convocation, and really, it kind of pushes them like, "This is real. Like I'm in college now," you know.
Yeah.
But it is a great event where everyone comes together.
And get your class T-shirt and everything. I love that.
class T-shirt, class photo.
Class
pen.
pen, sunglasses.
I'm wearing the
the
class of 2027
You
shirt
are?
under this. Yes, the gray one.
Oh,
You came
yeah.
prepared today.
Yes, I
There's
did.
different colors for every class.
For every
year,
Yes.
So you'll know that.
So any final thoughts for our new students before we let you go?
Come to the treehouse.
Oh, yeah.
If you have questions, we are your advocates. Come see us. And also, we provide free coffee, candy, and snacks for students that come in. Yes.
You have to come with a good question.
Yeah, come with a
Okay.
good question. But we are there for students, any student.
We are your advocate
And we're advocates.
for sure.
Well, thank y'all so much for being here. It's always a pleasure getting to talk to y'all and just being able to share the amazing work that y'all do for our students.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, I really enjoyed being able to talk to Dr. Dukes, Dr. Huggins, and Angelica. Like, being able to see folks care so much about students the way they do just always feels inspiring.
Yes, like AU really wants students to succeed, whether that be academically and socially. Like they want to see students grow, and so I'm really grateful for the resources and opportunities that are offered here. And students, you don't have to get involved when classes start. You can start as early as your orientation. Dr. ShaRon Dukes, as well as Dr. Elizabeth Huggins and Angelica Hill, they are going to be at Jaguar Junction, which is an event at orientation where students can kind of learn more about the different resources that are on campus and ways that they can get involved right then and there. So when they do start their classes, they are prepared and they can further learn more then too.
So yeah, if you're watching this and you have already got your introduction out of the way, don't be afraid to speak to them when you see them at orientation. But just kind of going off of what we talked about today, I hope you all find ways to get involved as early as orientation, like Leah mentioned, and just throughout your first year. Welcome to Jaguar Nation. Once again, we're so excited to have you here. And until then, we'll see you in the next one.
Go Jags!